We're rolling.
You're actually rolling.
Yes.
And let's see. And if you want to come out with us,
You could be like, I'm not gay. I'm
having
just here
fun.
for more sport.
he's having fun.
What is up, you guys?
No, don't do that. Obviously, just say,
Nice to get
hey,
here, back at it again. With
just say,
Is your channel
hey.
called Messy Kissy?
Alright, so hello. So, my name is Castro. I have
Karina.
and fed.
short for.
I'm not saying my full name.
Okay. Well, continue. Well, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, so Pride Month's over, but I still want to do this video. It's like a, it's not. It's like it is a coming out video. And
And it's shocking, guys.
very shocking.
To all
yes.
of you.
You're very shocking.
So
You didn't expect this.
Okay.
But yes, no, it's order to do a coming out video to make myself feel better and like to tell everyone, you know, a story of coming out. And I asked my friend Karina if she wanted to tell her story too, because she is human.
Alright. I'll explain later.
Yes, for him, I don't know if he's gonna join.
I will.
Oh, you will.
I'm here. I'm queer. Wait, you have to explain who I am.
Alright, so this is Federico.
Oh,
no.
no full names.
So, okay, cut. So this is Fed.
Hi.
He's my boyfriend.
I'm his
Yes.
wife.
Is it official
This
now?
is Karina.
We're polygamous.
So yeah, I just wanted to make this video in order to tell my story. She's gonna tell her story. He's gonna tell his story.
Okay, so I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, get up. Get up.
Okay, then I'll
Girl, your battery's about to die.
I know.
It's
okay.
Interrupt me in the middle of my coming out video?
Have fun, guys.
I remember, I don't know, like, I remember as a kid, I was really proud that I was weird and I was random and oh my god, it's so funny, haha. And yeah, then when I started getting, like, having crushes on people and whatever, it was a bit later than my friends, like slightly, so you know I was really excited to get there. And when I finally like started looking at people, I realized that, you know, I don't see only girls, there's also guys. And I was very confused. I didn't know what was happening, because in my head I remember thinking at one point, I was almost crying because I was like, why? I remember thinking, I'm weird enough, I don't want to be more weird. It wasn't horrible for me, to be honest. Very loving parents told me multiple times that they don't care. When I actually did come out to my parents, it was because I was having a breakdown at school, and my dad told me that maybe it was something that I was keeping, like, and I didn't want to say it out loud, and maybe if I said it out loud it'll feel better. So I said it to my parents, and it wasn't that in the end. It was just anxiety. But yeah, but it's still hard to say, and I think that's important to know, that sometimes it's hard to tell people, even if you know that they're gonna be okay with it, and it's all right to not feel comfortable talking about it, and it's okay as long as you work on it and you know that one day you will. But back to what was happening, I thought that there were only 3 types of sexuality. I thought that you were either gay, which meant that you only like guys and you would never be with a girl. You're either straight, so you were always with girls, never think of guys, or you were bisexual, which meant that you liked both equally, just as much, no difference. And what I started realizing is that there were things of girls that I liked more. Like I wanted an emotional relationship with a girl. Like I was way more sexually attracted to guys. Like I just found them way more appealing than girls. And so basically, yeah. So when I came out as bisexual, by lack of a better word, and I still identify as bisexual simply because that's how I started identifying, and I mean, I'm definitely not just attracted to guys. I'm definitely not just attracted to girls. I'm not attracted to them equally. Pansexually might be another word that I could use, but it's also not ideal. And honestly, there's so many different types of sexuality, and it's such a spectrum that you can't pinpoint what you are, and it's okay to be completely different and just be out there. And that's what I remember thinking. I remember thinking to myself, I remember this exact thought came through my head. There's either straight, gay, or bisexual, and then I thought, could there be something else? And then I thought, no. If there was something else, like, I would know about it. Like, it would be a known thing. Sadly, our education system doesn't really explain that very well. They quickly go through homosexuality, at least in Canada. They quickly go through homosexuality and maybe a bit bisexuality, and after that it's like, okay, then let's get back to the real, the straight. You know, I always just said, oh, you know what, no, I'm not gonna come out. One day I'll just show up with whoever I'm dating, and if it's a guy, it'll be a guy, and they'll be like, okay. Because, you know, I thought that that's how it would work. And ideally, it should. Unfortunately, we don't live in a society which allows that. And even if my parents wanted me to, my parents told me, like, they would have been fine with that. They wouldn't have minded. But we don't live in that kind of society. And so, if you say, oh, well, I just won't talk about it and I'll just show up with someone, at least in my case, it just caused me more anxiety. Because I would just, whenever a subject would come up, whenever, I don't know, someone would be like, oh, that guy is cute, I'd be like, and I would like be like, oh yeah, he is, or something, and I would not say it. So I was hiding. Even though, like, my idea was, oh, I'm not hiding, I'm just not saying it. But I was restraining myself from saying something because that was outing me, and I wasn't supposed to out me because I was supposed to out myself when I had someone. And it was like, why though? I understand when people have difficult parents, when it's not as easy, but in my case, it was way easier than well, it wasn't easy though, but it should have been easier. And sometimes it's not because you have loving parents that society can still fuck you up. That sucks. That sucks. I just wish we could live in a world where people are with guys, people are with girls, people are with any other gender or not gender, and people just are together. And there's not a, oh, I am this label. Like, you don't hear people saying, oh yes, no, I'm attracted to blondes, and you know, this is my label, I'm the blonde guy, you know. And yeah, and then I'm still awkward talking about it. I mean, I don't like telling people my sexuality. Because obviously when you say bisexual, it's like, oh, he's a closeted gay. And I mean, it's just not a fun thing to have to explain, or just knowing that people are guessing that people are judging you mostly, because no one will say it to your face, but people, like, in the back of their heads are like, okay, yeah, okay, he's closeted. And I mean, I have a boyfriend, and I love him, and I'm not hiding anything. But people like to think that there are two sexual orientations when there's sex. There's an infinite amount. And yeah. So it's not necessarily that you'll come out and your whole world's gonna change and everything's gonna be way easier. For me, I'm so awkward about it. As I said, sometimes I try to insert my boyfriend into conversations, and since I'll be like, oh yeah, my boyfriend went to that school as well, or oh yeah, my boyfriend did that as well, and I never got a negative reaction to that. But that's also because I'm careful when I say it. I've never actually tried to say it out loud in a random and completely not cared for what I was talking to. I usually say it to someone that I know is accepting. Not necessarily someone I'm close with, just as long as I know it's accepting. And even then, especially in French, when most of the words that mean boyfriend also mean just regular friends. So a lot of people just think that he's my friend that I'm talking about. Or, you know, people always just assume that if I say, oh yeah, I'll say, oh yeah, I have a date, and they'll be like, oh, okay, who is she? And it's happened to me so many times that I don't want to correct them. I just keep going because it's easier, and I shouldn't, but you know, it's the way it is. So yeah, and you know, coming out to my friends, it was easier the more you do it, the more it gets easier, and the more sometimes at some point you stop coming out and you're just talking about who you're with. If ever someone's watching this and they know someone who is in that situation, please just act normal. Is the easiest way to do it. Don't act like it's a big deal, and just be supportive, because you know it's not a choice. The only choice that person made is to actually say it to everyone, and to not be ashamed of who they are, and that's the best thing you can do, is just be there, and honestly think about it. Like if you're skeptical about gay rights or queer rights, just really honestly that's the only advice I can give you is stop and think, like, why